Hello everyone, I'm Robin. We are going to talk about many vocabulary and adjectives and slang, idioms to describe people as ugly, okay? Let's take a look at the board. I'm going to use he is, he's, and she is. We're going to describe these two people, a guy and a girl, as ugly, and we can use any of these. They work for guys and girls. Let's take a look. The first one, he's ugly, she's ugly. Okay, so that's very easy to understand. Let's go to the next one. She's unattractive. Okay, she's unattractive. Of course, attractive means very pretty, very beautiful, and unattractive means ugly. All right, so ugly and unattractive are the two most common ones. Let's move on. Here's another one, homely. He's homely. We can say he's homely, but usually it's she's homely. Homely would mean, not pretty, not beautiful, a little bit ugly. Okay, she's homely. Okay, maybe she has no fashion sense. She's very boring to look at and to watch because she has no makeup. Okay, we describe her as homely. And I think Kim Jong-un's wife is a little bit homely. Let's move on. Okay, we're getting into bigger, more complicated vocabulary. These words are very strong. They mean very, very ugly. The next one, if I said, he's monstrous. He's monstrous. Okay, so that guy is so ugly. I'm describing him like a monster. Okay, his face is like a monster. So I would say he's monstrous. She's monstrous. Okay, very negative thing to say. Hideous. He's hideous. Again, this is too ugly. So ugly. He's hideous. Hideous. And the last one, very, very, very strong. Grotesque. She's grotesque. He's grotesque. Okay, grotesque comes from gross or disgusting. Okay, grotesque. So very, very ugly. I don't want to look at that person. I don't want to talk to that person. Certainly, I never want to touch that person. They are grotesque. All right, so this is the vocabulary, the adjectives. Let's move on to some slang and idioms. In this next part, we're going to learn a lot of slang and idioms to use to describe someone who is ugly. All right. The first one, nasty. Nasty. He's nasty. She's nasty. Again, very ugly. You want to say he or she is nasty. You can describe their hair as nasty. Dirty, ugly hair. Their face is nasty. Okay, very ugly. Next one. She's butt ugly. Butt ugly. What is a butt? A butt is your ass. Okay, so if you say she's butt ugly, her face looks like an ass. Okay, so it's a very negative thing to say. She's butt ugly. But common, okay? Butt ugly. He's a dog. She's a dog. Okay, so describing them as a dog also means they're ugly. She's a dog. Okay, she's a real dog. That means her face is ugly. All right, now we're going to get into the really, 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 really bad expressions. Okay, so I'm going to have to use some bad words. Now, ugly as. He's ugly as, so we're comparing him. He's ugly as a pig. Okay, you can say he's ugly as a pig. So you're comparing his face to a pig. Very ugly. Same. She's ugly as sin. That's another one. She's ugly as sin. Now, sin, of course, is a very bad thing. You're doing something bad. That is a sin. She's ugly as sin just means she's very ugly. All right, let's get deeper into more powerful expressions. He's ugly as shit. He's ugly as shit. Okay, very strong. He's ugly as shit. She's ugly as fuck. She's ugly as fuck. Okay, so you can have like ugly as a pig, ugly as sin, ugly as shit, ugly as fuck. Very powerful to say someone is really, really ugly. The last one. She's fugly. She's fugly. He's fugly. What is fugly? Well, fugly, this is two words. We can see ugly is one word. Now, what is the F? Now, the F means fucking. She's fucking ugly, okay? So fucking is a bad word, so we just say fugly, okay? Very common. Everyone knows fugly. Very strong, very rude thing to say. He's fugly. She's fugly. All right, let's move on to one last expression. Okay, the final expression here is a sentence. Now, the other expressions we learned are very direct. Okay, you're ugly, you're fugly, you know, things like that. This is very indirect, okay? It's not polite, but I guess, you know, there's no polite way to say someone is ugly, but I guess this is the best indirect way. Let's take a look. He has a face. He has a face only a mother can love. Okay, so someone has a face, but only the mother can love that face. Everyone else thinks it's ugly or hideous. Okay, so a very indirect way to say someone is ugly. She or he has a face only a mother can love. All right, so we learned lots of expressions to describe someone as ugly or very ugly. Be very careful with these expressions. You should never say them directly to the person. You're ugly, you're hideous, you're grotesque, you're fugly. Don't say that directly to the person, or you might get this in the face, okay? Well, I hope you learned a lot from this video, and I'll see you next time.